looking down just outside of Beaver Boulevard inside the KMSU TV and radio studios on the beautiful campus of Minot State University. Welcome, Minot sports fans, to another episode of the Minot Sports Podcast. This will be episode number 5 of the 3rd season, and a little bit of change in plans in this one as we've kind of gotten some news out of left field as of late. So don't you worry, Minot sports fans. We are going to get back into the regular schedule, but this show, will be a little bit different this time around. But of course, I just want to welcome you guys into episode 5 of the 3rd season. I am your host, colehcclem, a junior inside the Minot State Professional Communication Department, recording inside the KMSU TV and radio studios. Always a good time to be behind the mic and talking all sorts of Minot sports news. And we got some fireworks to talk about today on the show. We have some big time summer baseball news. I'll get more into that now, but I'll just label it at that for now. But we got some big time baseball, just a lot of unexpected summer baseball news, for better or for worse, depending on how you feel. I mean, obviously, stuff is moving by the minute and solutions are being made. It's a whole bunch of leftover puzzle pieces still trying to figure out where each one goes. So it's a lot to take in right now, but you know what? It is necessary that we talk about this today. Before we get started, Minot sports fans, just want to let you know that we are sponsored by Peyton Barch Photography and also recording from the KMSU TV and radio studios. That is our studio sponsor. We thank them for providing us always with the help and support that is much needed and much appreciated each and every time we get into the studios to work, record, getting behind the mic. We thank them as always, and thanks to Peyton Barch as a photography sponsor. Hopefully we can get some more action shots from him pretty soon, so hopefully we can have something being worked on there, but nothing too much to worry about. Let's get right on into it, Minot sports fans. So I know I promised that we would be up to date with the spring sports going on, or actually not spring, the winter sports going on. So with basketball, wrestling, hockey, just getting underway with tournament season for Class B basketball. I know I promised that we would talk about that in this show, not today, in this show, but we will get to it eventually, but no pun intended, or in this case, you may want to leave the pun in there. News coming out of left field in the summer baseball world inside the Magic City. We're talking Sabre Dogs and the Northwoods League possibly coming to Minot. And we'll talk a little Toros trade deadline news and other hockey happenings inside the North American Hockey League. But getting us started, so what a crazy week it has been. I'm actually recording this on February 17th. This is at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, top of the hour. And yeah, if you've been paying attention this past week, it's crazy what is happening in the Expedition League right now. And just to give you guys a little clarification, if you guys don't know, the Expedition League, that is the league that the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs play in. They started about 4 or 5 years ago-ish. So kind of around, I think right after my junior year. I'm a junior in college now, and right after my junior year of high school, I believe is when they got started, if I'm not mistaken. And so the Expedition League and the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs, they have worked hard to bring out the best entertainment as far as summer nights go here in the Magic City, and they've done a wonderful job. They've been just some of the utmost, brightest forms of fan engagement that you could have. And their memo has always been, there's always the word fun in there. I can't remember. It's always changed a lot, but their memo, they've always preached, want to bring fun to not only baseball, but to other small towns to provide some extra level of entertainment. And they've done a great job with it. So it's a lot of fun involved with it, and just another one of your local teams that you can go out and, just have a good time every night, just buy yourself a ticket, enjoy the nice weather, enjoy some fun baseball, spend money on merchandise, food, drink, could be anything. So, but yeah, it was a prominent option for summer entertainment in this city. And gosh, what a dark week. It has all led up to this moment, and what a dark week it has been for the Expedition League. Not so much for the Sabre Dogs, because there's still more we got to discuss with them later on, but they're fine. It's just a whole bunch of other expiration of contracts, if you so will. But let's get right into this firsthand. So the Expedition League, if you guys remember, about at least 10 teams. It's always changing. I can't always remember the exact number, but they would always have, on a good year, at least 10 teams playing, maybe 12. Yeah, usually 12 teams or so. And I think that was the case last year. But during the COVID-shortened season, they can only play with 6 because of state guidelines. But on a good year like last year, I believe they played with 12 teams. And the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs, our beloved Sabre Dogs, obviously were one of those teams. And luckily for us here in the community, we got to witness on home field a championship run that resulted in the Sabre Dogs winning it all last year in the 2021 season. And so, yeah, that is the league that they reside in, the Expedition League. And normally it's with 12 teams. And once the 21 season concluded, and now we're going to get into story time here, folks. Just hang in there a second. I'm getting to the point. So once the 21 season concluded, they had 12 teams, but 7 of them, or I guess I'm going to have to do some math here, but 12-ish teams or so, 7 of them defected to a competitor league. And I wrote this down on the Instagram story that this is the news that just came out. And I got to be careful with how much I should say about this topic. A lot of finger pointing right now. I should be careful with what I say about this topic because it's a touchy subject, and just kind of the facts of what I know for now. 7 teams left. They defected to a competitor league. My guess would be that it is money, and it's money makes the world go round. Or if you're not making money, it's going to lead to some change along the way. And that would be my guess. That's just kind of me speculating. But what I do know is that 7 teams, they left to go try and make money in a different league, or playing in a different league, if you so will. Maybe just get a better environment, a better outlook for their team. And that led to some major controversy. And now those 7 teams, along with the Expedition League. So the Expedition League, they owned those teams until, change of owners. Obviously an owner wanted to, it doesn't help, or it doesn't hurt to own a whole bunch of baseball teams, make money that way. But sometimes it can be a little bit taxing. So, just let other owners take over and, just run what they want the league motto to be with their teams. And it backfired. On the Expedition League, because now they defected to another baseball league for the summer. They already have schedules released. They are already getting players, already getting interns filled out. And yeah, it's just a whole mess, and some violations were made. Obviously, the Expedition League has their reasons, and the teams that defected have their reasons. And again, trying to avoid a gray area here. The result of it is a court case. There's a lot of legal proceedings going on, a lot of legal action taken. So both the Expedition League and those 7 teams are now in court, and we'll just have to wait and see how the result of it turns out. And yeah, it's not pretty right now. And just luckily for us here in the Minot community, the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs were not one of those teams that defected, and we're just so fortunate. We're so lucky to have a team like the Sabre Dogs, and for them to stay loyal, stay true to their identity, their league that they participate in. And you know what? That's not to knock on those other teams for leaving. I mean, they had their reasons. The Expedition League has their reasons for why they're upset and why this is in a court case. Again, it's a whole mess, but I'll just say this. Yeah, we are fortunate to have the Sabre Dogs here and not be a part of one of those teams. Could have been worse off, but again, folks, not trying to hit a gray area here, but yeah, that's just the facts of the story right now. The Expedition League and those 7 teams are in court right now. Like I said, we'll see what comes out of it, but just kind of moving on from that a little bit. So that's a big reason. That's a big reason why we still have yet to see a schedule from the Sabre Dogs and an intern roster filled out. And as obviously I've been saying this on the Instagram story, if you guys read about that, I'll have more on it later. But yeah, that's the reason we don't have a schedule. We don't have intern roster. We have players, which is a good sign, but it's better to have the schedule and the interns to promise them summer work, which essentially guarantees there will be a season. But it helps to have a schedule so you can plan out which nights you want to go, which games you want to go spend time with your family with, or spend a night in the first base concourse or party deck for sponsors, whatever it is. A whole lot of money-making opportunities there. A lot of fun nights to be planned. We don't have that right now, so there's no 2022 schedule out yet for the Sabre Dogs, and it is probably spanning from these legal responsibilities going on from the league. And, you know, when you have 7 teams that defect to another league, what did that leave them down to? That left them down to 4 teams now in the Expedition League. 7 is a hefty number to swallow, and 4 teams. I mean, you could pull off some sort of short season, but that's just kind of not fun playing the same teams all at once. So 4 teams right now. Sabre Dogs are one of them in the Expedition League. I believe the other 3, one of them is actually a brand new expansion team. So kind of a nice welcome home or homecoming for this expansion team. A welcome aboard. This is kind of not the start they were expecting, but the 4 teams in the Expedition League, obviously we have the Sabre Dogs, the Sioux Falls Sunfish stayed, the Pure Trappers also stood pat, and the other team, the new Grand Forks Club, the Red River Pilots expansion team, they were set to begin play this summer, and now they're welcomed to a league that doesn't have a schedule yet and a whole mass court case happening. So yeah, welcome to summer baseball. But yeah, so that is currently the situation right now. And just kind of, put a cap on this. Overall, it's 4 teams in the Expedition League right now. They're looking to add 2 more. As I'm hearing every day, they're looking to bring in a few more squads to kind of make it respectable, kind of like the COVID shortened season in 2020. They did play with 6 teams. They made it work. At times, it did feel a little bit repetitive. It did feel like, oh man, these series are really long. And you know what? That's just what's going to happen. And that's just the nature of the league right now. We'll have to deal with it. And of course, all teams and all owners will have to deal with it. And again, that's just the nature of the league right now. So 4 teams, hoping they can add 2 more to make it 6. At least that's what they're aiming for right now, the Expedition League. But 6 teams in a season, that could make for a decent schedule at least. Hopefully, fingers crossed that it does not get pushed back or anything significant happens. And it all depends. We just got to wait, because it could all depend on this impending court case between the Expedition League and the 7 teams. It could cause a lot of struggles, a lot of complications within, and we hope that's not the case. But again, they know more than I do, so I'm just kind of giving out what I know, what I've heard, and trying not to get into a little bit of a trouble spot or a gray area, if you want to call it that. But yeah, so a lot of craziness happening within the Expedition League. And the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs, we've been treated to some amazing games over the years, especially with the All-Star game back in 2019, I think it was. Yeah, 2019, after my senior year of high school. I don't want to base these comparisons on me, guys. It's just easier for me. I'm just using myself as an example. After my junior year, this happened. After my senior year, this happened. It's just easier for me, guys. I don't want to base comparisons off me. That's just what I'm using. But yeah, the Sabre Dogs, they've brought us some great baseball over the years. And moving on to our next topic here, this is a good segue, actually. They've brought us great baseball, and unfortunately, that is going to have to come to an end, as it has been brought to our attention that the Sabre Dogs lease, their 5-year lease with Corbett Field, expires after what's supposed to be this season, which the importance of getting a schedule is even greater now. So we have to hope and pray that we do get a schedule, because this 2022 season will be the farewell tour for your Souris Valley Sabre Dogs as their lease with Corbett Field expires, and that's going to be it. That's going to be all she wrote for the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. So hopefully we can get a last 30-plus home games with the team, and hopefully another extended playoff run from them. Maybe hopefully another championship is brought, even with all those teams gone, and, Sabre Dogs probably now a step ahead, maybe, because they are the defending champs, and that could be another deep postseason run. But Minot sports fans, this is it. This is all for the Souris Valley Sabre Dogs. This is going to be their final season playing in Minot. I don't know if they're going to be relocating somewhere else, or if this is just all for them. They're going to be all done. They're just going to disband and move on, or I would hope to see that they would move on elsewhere so they can at least continue playing in a town where that they are, or they can be supported for much longer and be able to have home games, have some baseball games being played during a summer period. But I don't know. That won't be until the time comes. But yep, unfortunately, Minot sports fans, this is going to be the last dance, as they wrote down in their Facebook post, #last dance for the Sabre Dogs this summer. And, remembering back from the time when COVID started to really ramp up, the term was always thrown around, never take anything for granted. And this applies right here. This is the final go at it for the Sabre Dogs. And if we do get home games, which I believe we will have a season for the Sabre Dogs, just hopefully not on a condensed basis, although can't really be picky since this will be their last season. And so you just got to enjoy every moment of it. You just got to do not take this team for granted. Do not take the Sabre Dogs and anything they do for granted. They've brought a lot to this town, and we are so thankful. We are so gracious for them. And I'm sure they're thankful for us, the fans. And, I say this a lot, guys. This is going to get real personal here. I say this a lot. I think about this in my head, and I even tell some people, yes, I am a sports media broadcaster, a sports journalist, a sports media outlet for this town. At the end of the day, because I'm always seeing the high school kids having fun in the student section, and I'm always thinking to myself, I remember those days. And at the end of the day, Minot sports fans, I'm still a fan at heart. I'm going to tell you this now, no matter where I go, whether I stay here or I go elsewhere after college or whatever happens, wherever I go, whatever I do, I'm always going to be a fan at heart. I'm always going to be a fan for the Minotauros, for Minot High, for Bishop Ryan, for RE. Heck, I went to Minot High. I didn't really watch the Class B games with RE Deemers and Bishop Bryan, but now that I've gotten to witness and experience a lot of games, a lot of fun games at Bishop Ryan and RE Deemers, I will go to bat. Every situation, every opportunity I get, I will gladly go up to bat for RE Deemers and Bishop Ryan, because they've been amazing also. And even a few other teams I'm missing. Oh yeah, Minot State. I'll always be a fan at heart, guys. You don't have to worry about that. I will always be a fan, because that's really all what stemmed from this. I know this is kind of a little bit of a long TED talk going on, but yeah, guys, this is all what stemmed from was the fan inside me. I'm a fan at heart. That's really how I got to be a part of this career field, and I've loved it, and it's been awesome. You guys have been very supportive. Thank you so much for the followers on Twitter and Instagram. We reached 1,000 on both platforms. We're about to hit 50 on YouTube, and we just hit 100 on Facebook. So applause to you guys. I mean, you guys are the real MVPs. I just so gracious of you guys. I can't thank you guys enough for all the love and support. But yeah, this isn't about me. Obviously, I'm just telling you guys now that this is all we're going to have left for Sabre Dogs baseball, is just this one 2022 season, and let's make it a memorable one. Let's thank them for all they've done for the community, and let's make it a memorable last dance or final ride with this team. So final ride or die until we get some new baseball blood in this town, which that is another good setup for my next topic. And that is, folks, so despite the Sabre Dogs are leaving, whether it's via relocation or they're just going to overall disband and all the people are going to find new work, I don't know. I don't want to speculate. That's a little sensitive for me to say. But with that being said, despite the Sabre Dogs leaving, there is still going to be summer baseball in Minot one way or another. So news coming out from KFYR TV, that is the sister station to KMOT, or the other way around, KFYR. KMOT is the sister station of KFYR, located down in Bismarck. Word got around that the Minot Parks and Recreation, I'm actually reading this off of the Facebook post, word got around that the Minot Parks and Recreation Department Board, they voted unanimously to begin negotiations with, by the way, the Northwoods League. So if you guys know anything about summer baseball, you would know the Northwoods League. It's a very prominent baseball league, and they've been around for a long time. Their geographical surface runs wide. It is big, ginormous. They have teams all the way down in Wisconsin, a lot of teams in Minnesota. There's actually a team in Bismarck called the Larks. If you did not know that, the Bismarck Larks, they play all their summer baseball down there. And this is a big league. This is a big time prime league to be getting involved with. And this is awesome for the city of Minot. And just my thoughts on it exactly. I'm so glad that they recognize the significance that the Sabre Dogs bring to this community. Just the value of entertainment, the money, and all the opportunities they were able to incorporate during the summer. They value that, and they want to keep that fire lit. They want to keep that going. And so I guess, like I said, one way or another, as the Sabre Dogs, it looks like they won't return, but they are going to bring in a new baseball league, a new baseball team in a brand new baseball league. Well, maybe not a brand new league, but a prominent baseball league, bringing in a brand new team to the Magic City to play their games at Corbett Field, carry on the tradition of what the Sabre Dogs brought. And this is big time, folks. This is huge. And if the city of Minot can continue to bring summer entertainment, any sort of value, even the slightest bit of value that it brings to the city of Minot, you always see, I always think of Visit Minot, how they're always trying to promote everything that Minot's got. Any sort of entertainment value whatsoever, whatever it is, they will promote the heck out of it. And I'm so glad the city recognized this as an opportunity to not only be able to bring baseball back to Minot, but get it in a more prominent league. So this could mean, folks, that we could have baseball long term. Obviously, this isn't a shot at the Sabre Dogs, but we could have long-term baseball, longer than how long the Sabre Dogs lasted. And obviously, there's still going to be work to be done with it. There's going to be anything that, involves a little leg up in all sorts of summer involvement with a baseball team. It's going to take a lot, but in the end, the hard work will pay off. And I think, like I said, folks, this is big. This is huge. So I think once they get through the few obstacles of getting this team started up, I think it's going to come a lot easier. So I know you guys, the fans, have been out there at a lot of games supporting the Sabre Dogs, and I have no issues that will be the same thing, or I have no issues that won't be different, or I have no issues that I don't think there's going to be any problems with this new Northwoods team whatsoever. And who knows, they probably will incorporate the same money-making ideas that the Sabre Dogs brought, like the first base concourse, the party tech. Heck, they might even bring in some new, fresh ideas of ways to entertain the fans. You never know. The door is open. The possibilities are endless, folks. And there's going to be some fresh, new baseball blood coming to Minot, North Dakota. And it's going to be the date is actually going to be in the summer of 2023. So obviously we have the Sabre Dogs baseball, fingers crossed, Sabre Dogs baseball playing this year. And then that deal will get done and we'll have a new team the summer after that. So a year and a half away. It's a long time, but that's plenty for them to figure out. It looks like it'll be run through the Bismarck Larks owner. So we'll actually have some more friendlier rivalries with the Bismarck team, the Larks, because their owner is actually, it looks like, I might be speculating here, I don't know, I just kind of reading off of the article by KFYR, it looks to be like the Bismarck Larks owner is heading up the operation of bringing a team to Minot, so we have them to thank, and it could be a little more friendlier rivalries, you never know, so it's kind of weird to say it like that, but summer baseball is being saved in Minot, so one way or another, that's how I like to put it there. So, but man, that's a lot of personal stuff going on here, folks. A lot of emotions flowing through, and I think now's a good time to take a break. So before we do that, I just want to let you guys know to follow KMSU TV and Radio on social media. Instagram is at KMSU TV and Radio, or excuse me, KMSU TV/radio. That's the username for our sponsor, our studio sponsor. We got that Instagram page up and running finally last semester. We just kind of had to revive it, bring it back to life, and it's been good. We've had a fun semester of events and attending football games, tailgating, doing summer showdown episodes on our YouTube channel, going live on channel 19 even. And we've posted a lot of stuff with that. Even had our sports show last semester, so that was quite some fun there. But yeah, go check out KMSU TV and Radio on Instagram, KMSU TV/radio. Twitter page is not running currently, so it's still, we're kind of maybe thinking about bringing it back as well. Not sure yet. I don't know of the login info, so, but if you want to, just for fun, at KMSU19 on Twitter, at KMSU19 on Facebook. I know that page is running nice and smoothly. That is actually where we'll go live with our show. You'll get notifications. You'll follow along on a lot of different events happening around the Minot State Professional Communication Department. There's also a professional communication Facebook page separate to KMSU TV and Radio. But yeah, if you want to go check that out, you'll be notified of when we go live on Channel 19 and on YouTube, or Facebook Live rather. YouTube Live will be some of the bigger events, and I'll discuss more on that later. And also, YouTube KMSU TV. Go subscribe to that. You'll find all of our shows, all of our playbacks of every Inside Out, Inside the Dam, Saturday Showdown, a whole bunch of great content from the Minot State broadcasters of tomorrow. With that, Minot sports fans, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back. Oh, yeah, and I almost forgot, Peyton Barch Photography, our photography sponsor. Yeah, Peyton Barch, at Barch Photo, I believe, or let me check here. I know he just changed his username on Instagram. He actually took down his Twitter page, believe it or not. Yes, at Barch Photo on Instagram. You can go check him out. Get him up to 1,000 followers, people. He's phenomenal, and so are the other photographers in the area. I'm sure he does great work with all those other guys. I know he's done work with Oscar Holtz. He's also got a nice page going on, but Peyton Barch Photography, go check him out there on Instagram. You can follow the Minot Sports Podcast on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The links will be posted in the description, and you can also see it on the cover graphic you are looking at right now. But now, with that said, folks, we'll take a break, and I'll see you guys on the other side.
Welcome to KMSU TV and Radio. You might be asking, what is KMSU? It is the brand name for the MSU Broadcasting Department, home to the many young and aspiring communication majors here at Minot State University. When joining KMSU, there will be many different opportunities to get involved. Students will get a hands-on learning experience in lots of future career fields, like the production of content, being a leader in public relations, operating social media, or even writing and journalism. KMSU is also home to the local public access channel, where students can produce the weekly campus TV show and talk on live radio. From us here at KMSU, we hope to see you along the way.
Looking on at Beaver Boulevard, recording inside the KMSU TV and Radio studios. Minot sports fans, welcome back to the Minot Sports Podcast. This is episode 5 of the 3rd season. Again, I am your host, Cole Clementich, behind the mic here, talking some great Minot sports content with you guys today. Recording on February 17th in the year of 2022. We are just, as I said last time, we are just getting on with tournament season for Class B basketball, and that's going to actually also today is the first day of the West Region Boys Hockey Tournament for the Minot High Magicians. Today they will take on the Botno Rugby Braves in the first round. Minot High was able to clinch the number 2 seed, and so you know how that goes. It's usually 1 versus 8, 4 versus 5, 2v7, and 3 versus 6. So Minot High being number 2, they take on the Botno Rugby Braves, who got the number 7 seed. They were actually already the number 7 seed. They just happened to win their play-in game versus the Hazen Beulah Stars. And so, yeah, you can check that out. PSP Network will have coverage of the entire tournament going on down at the VFW in Bismarck. Minot High versus Botno Rugby, 5 o'clock puck drop tonight. Or, yeah, I think it will be on time. So I think they'll get the 2 games out of the way before they get to Minot and Botno. So should be a lot of fun. Good luck to the boys down there, as well as to all of the other Minot sports athletes competing on this day and in the coming days as well. We're going to cap off the show today with some Minotauros hockey talk. Despite that they are in a slump right now, we do have a little bit of exciting news to come out from the Minotauros offices, as head coach and GM Cody Campbell has been really pulling off some moves for the team as of late, as the Toros making a bunch of trades ahead of the North American Hockey League trade deadline. That was this past Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, Sunday or something like that. So yeah, there's a flurry of trades to talk about with the Minot Minotauros. We'll get to the off-ice stuff before we'll get to the off-ice stuff. So all these trades going down, probably several others happening around the North American Hockey League, but the Toros in particular. And on professionalism here by me, guys, I gotta go find some of the links on here, but the Minotauros. So we'll just kind of go through them one by one as they happen, or as I'm scrolling through here. They actually just had their prospects tournament, so that must have been a fun time for them. Yet the top prospects tournament. So yeah, I'll just go through these one by one. They're not going to be in order. I'm just going to go through which ones I see first. But, so the first one we will discuss, the Toros acquired Nick Ohannesson and Nate Mann. So that's one trade. That actually happened 10 days ago on the 7th. Nick Ohannesson is a defenseman. Nathan Mann is a forward. I believe the Toros drafted Nick Ohannesson, believe it or not. So they had to reacquire him. Yep, and I'm looking here on the article. Ohannesson was a Toros 3rd-round draft pick last summer, and he started off with the Des Moines Buccaneers in the USHL. And another situation where we've seen players having to start off in the USHL and not have it go their way, so they have to take a step back. And Nick Ohannesson joining the Toros, hopefully he can get his game back up to where he would like it to be. And so in order to make room for Ohannesson and Nate Mann, the Toros actually released Nick Urtis and Anthony Percy, I'm not sure how you would pronounce his name. I apologize if I messed up there, but Nate Mann was acquired for conditional future assets. Any way you can make the team better. Coach Campbell, he's going for a playoff run. He's going for a deep playoff run here. The Toros are definitely buyers at the deadline, despite their bottom 2 presence in the division right now, their current slump. They are going for it. They are all in. They're wasting no time. And so moving on to the next trade here, Jack Brown, another trade with the Toros with the Chippewa Steel. Going the other way were Cade Nielsen, a prominent forward for the Minotauros, looked good off the start, and conditional future assets as well. So that is what the Chippewa Steel are getting. So Cade Nielsen and some of those assets. And in return, the Toros are getting Jack Brown. So you can definitely tell buyer's mentality. Toros are not holding back. They're going all in. And so that is just another one of the trades. And then the last one here, I believe this is to be the last one, Jack Kircher and Lassie Letty. Kircher is, Jack Kircher is a defenseman, And Lassi Lehti is a goaltender from Finland. He actually, funny story, he just announced his college commitment the same day he gets traded to the Minot Minotauros. So yeah, just kind of a funny story there. But Lassi Lehti, a goalie from Finland, and Jack Kircher, defenseman. Lehti comes to us from the El Paso Rhinos. The Toros traded defenseman Blake Arneson and an unsigned tender for next season. And for Kircher, the Toros got him also from the Chippewa Steel. He goes to Minot in exchange for, actually not in exchange for, they got Jack Kircher, but the Toros sent off Desmond Johnson, defenseman, to the Odessa Jackalopes, also for an unsigned tender for next season. So the Toros making room for that. And as for Kircher, don't think, doesn't show what the Toros had to give up. But hey, anytime you got a chance to add a player or add multiple players, I think you take advantage of that. And in a way to make the team better, Cody Campbell, he's not shying away from those trades, and that is good deals for the Toros, as they're, like I said, looking like buyers at the trade deadline this year, and they're going for the deep postseason run. So to recap those trades, the Toros acquire Nick Ohaneson, Nate Mann. Again, forgive me if I mispronounce any names. Nick Ohaneson, originally from the USHL. Nate Mann from the El Paso Rhinos. Jack Brown from the Chippewa Steel, a forward. Defenseman Jack Kircher, also from the Chippewa Steel. And goaltender Lassi Lehti. So Cody Campbell rounding out his roster with trade deadline acquisitions, and what a busy trade deadline it was for the Toros. And normally you don't see this many trades. Normally it's like one or two every year. Cody Campbell, for him, he's going all in with his team, and he's not like I've been saying, he's not shying away from this opportunity. He knows the importance of what this team brings to Minot, and I said it in the last episode, there's still some unfinished business left, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go on another deep playoff run or hopefully come away with a championship title in the Toros' name. And so, Cody Campbell, head coach and GM, doing all he can for this team to bring them to the promised land, and a little brand new look. It might take a hit on the chemistry side of things, but this could I think it won't have an effect too much, but it could very well pay off in the end there. So there you have it. New players added to the Minot Minotauros. And just like that, Minot sports fans, we are going to call it a day. Just sitting outside of Beaver Boulevard on Minot State University campus, you are listening to the Minot Sports Podcast being recorded inside the KMSU TV and radio studios. We thank them for all the love and support and the resources that they have provided to us each and every time we get the chance to record. We also want to thank Peyton Barch Photography, our photography sponsor, one of our other few sponsors. And if you want to sponsor the show, go ahead and shoot me an email. I will leave those in the description, or you can just send me a DM on any one of the social media pages. Again, they are posted on the graphic. You can see it right there. That's going to do it, folks. Again, you can follow the podcast on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Show some love to our sponsors, KMSU TV and Radio and Peyton Barch Photography, on social media as well. On Instagram, at KMSU TV/radio, KMSU 19 on Twitter and Facebook, and KMSU TV on YouTube, and at Barch Photo on Instagram for our photography sponsor there. This is the end for episode number 5 of the 3rd season. We're starting to pump out a few more episodes here, folks. So a lot of fun topics. Well, maybe not so fun for this one at times, but they are prominent Minot sports news, and it gives us a lot more to talk about. And we are now in the middle of tournament season for hockey and basketball. Sports coverage is going to be ramping up here pretty soon, folks. I have some classes going on at some of those times, so I'm going to miss a few games here and there, but the night hours, when are usually the dominant sports coverage landscape, I will be there for those. Stay tuned, Minot sports fans. A lot's going to be coming your way, and we're going to have fun with it. So again, I'm your host, Cole Clementich, signing off. We will see you next time, and have yourselves a good rest of your day.